great teacher can change lives. Every single person receiving a prize today is a great teacher. So that's why it's wonderful to be part of the celebration.
Teachers play such a massive role in our lives, and they can be the ones who inspire things decades later.
If it wasn't for my teacher, I wouldn't be here. They play such an important role to each and everybody, every day.
Teachers are very fundamental. I think they give you your first lesson in respect. They are our first interaction with the real world.
A good teacher ignites something in you, and it's like a spark's been lit. When that works, it's amazing, it's magical.
Award ceremonies are not my favourite thing, but I couldn't miss this. They change lives, without a shadow of a doubt. Teachers change mine, and they change other people's.
From the Royal Opera House in London's Covent Garden, join us to discover who are Britain's Classroom Heroes 2015.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for the evening, Dan Snow.
Thank you and welcome to Britain's Classroom Heroes from the splendour of the Royal Opera House in London's Covent Garden, where tonight we will discover who has won the prestigious 2015 Teaching Awards supported by Pearson UK. Everyone here is a classroom hero in their own way, and we'll be celebrating your achievements throughout the night. There are a host of celebrities joining me this evening. The author, poet and playwright Michael Morpurgo, EastEnders bad boy Richard Blackwood, and the queen of stage and screen, Sheila Hancock. Also none other than the Bake Off champion herself, Nadia Hussain. We're all ready to pay tribute to the best of our assembled teachers and present a few of these, the famous gold Plato. Because tonight is for you. You are responsible for changing the lives of young people across the United Kingdom so they can go on and achieve great things. So from us all, thank you and have a wonderful evening. Our first Plato of the night is for Primary Head Teacher of the Year. To present this award, one of our best-loved authors. He's written over 100 children's books, but it was when Steven Spielberg brought his acclaimed novel War Horse to the big screen that he received the international recognition that he so richly deserved. Please welcome Michael Morpurgo. Everyone in this room knows who you are and has been involved with young people that have read your books. Did you enjoy school?
Some of it. It depended on the teacher. Sometimes I had the most wonderful teachers, and it was a joy to get up in the morning, and other times you just wanted to stay in bed. I was a normal child, actually.
You then became a teacher yourself, so what kind of teacher were you?
Brilliant.
Yes.
No, I taught in a primary school. I taught for about 8 years to junior children, and I loved it. And I had a brilliant head teacher, the best in the world, who said we had to read to our children from 3 to 5:30 and never ask them a question afterwards. Just read the story, and I loved that. And in the end, I ran out of good stories to read, and so I started making up my own.
You've certainly filled the gap there. You better tell us who's won this prize.
I love this. It's called Tension. I am delighted to present the award for Head Teacher of the Year in a primary school. And the winner is, from Holy Family Primary School in Belfast, Dinah McManus.
Holy Family Primary School is situated in North Belfast. It is on a border between the Protestant community and the Catholic community. Over the last 30 years, these communities have suffered a great deal of sectarian violence.
There was an awful lot of trouble, like really bad trouble going on. Our house was attacked a lot. My daughter Anya slept with her socks and shoes on because we didn't know what was going to be happening in the middle of the night.
Hello, you! How are you?
I came to Holy Family as principal in 2002. We were post a Good Friday Agreement, but really this was still quite a volatile area.
Decades of violence had left the community divided. Curry Primary, the local Protestant school, was just 100 yards away from Holy Family. But 13 years ago, this could have been 100 miles.
Just before Dinah arrived, there would have been daily unrest and rioting. It wouldn't have been comfortable for the children to have walked up the Limestone Road between the two schools.
I felt very, very strongly the need to improve community relations. And I also believe that doing that through children is very effective. Ashley and I both agreed that that was the best way forward for the children to cross the road and visit each other's school.
We have given the children programmes that they can then work on together. For instance, the Forest Skills programme.
Now, you have to show me how to make a beautiful raft.
To see the children play together in the park, to see them make friends, is wonderful, because for me, that augurs well for the future. There are lots of excellent lessons to be learned here.
Dinah realised that it's not just about teachers and children, that parents and family and community are so important.
We held parent classes in Holy Family one session and Curry Primary the next.
I've been coming to the evening workshops and the morning workshops for almost 4 years now. There's friends I have now that I don't think 10 years ago I would say I would be friends because they're on the opposite side of the divide, but they would be my closest and nearest and dearest.
They came to realise that there was far more to unite them than there was to divide them.
Dinah just came in and just let everybody know that education was for everyone. Doesn't matter what social background you came from, it's just a beacon in the darkness.
This area is still divided by what are known as peace walls that were built to contain the worst of the sectarian violence. In 2011, Holy Family and Curry Primary Schools united to open a gate in the peace wall that had divided their local park for nearly 20 years.
Can anybody remember when the peace wall was closed, when the gate was closed? Yeah. So what can you do with your friends now?
The ones we met in Curry, we can go down there and they can come up here.
Okay. So who's the park for? Everybody.
If I were to think back over the years to the number of times that people had said no, we would be nowhere. To me, there are very few obstacles that cannot be overcome.
I think Dinah has left such a legacy for this community and she has been a wonderful mentor.
We have such happy, confident, articulate children who now know that there's a great world beyond North Belfast, a world that they can reach out to, that they're very much a part of. And I want them to become citizens of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Primary Head Teacher of the Year, Dinah McManus.
Wonderful work you've done.
Congratulations. I was so struck by the expression you used there, citizens of the world. What concrete steps have you taken to try and achieve that?
Well, actually, Holy Family was awarded quite recently international school status and global school status. So really, I wanted our children to see that there was a world beyond North Belfast. And I think by introducing them to schools across the world with whom we are twinned, that's given them the aspiration to go out there and be part of the bigger world.
You've spent your career teaching in inner city schools. Yes. Why? Why do you choose them?
Oh, anybody who's from inner city knows it's a very special place, really. Our children have taught me about the joy of life, about generosity and kindness. They've taught me about resilience in the face of challenge. And so I would recommend inner city to any teacher.
You've recently retired.
I have.
You must be proud of what you've achieved.
I am, yes. I have to say it's very humbling to be given an award for something that you have just loved, always.
Well, you deserve it. Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, our primary head teacher of the year, Dinah McManus, and thank you, Michael Morpurgo, as well. The next award is Teaching Assistant of the Year. The people who work so hard alongside the teaching staff to ensure our pupils get the very best support they need. To present, a lady who has become one of the most talked about in Britain after winning a deliciously popular baking competition. Over 14 million people, the biggest TV audience of the year so far, tuned in to watch the final of the Great British Bake Off. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Before she joins me on stage, let's remind ourselves of that magical moment.
The winner is Nadia.
I am never ever going to put boundaries on myself ever again. I'm never going to say, I can't do it. I'm never going to say maybe. I'm never going to say, I don't think I can. I can, and I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nadia Hussain. Let me take this. Oh, that's the biggest cheer of the night so far, Nadia.
Wow.
Have you, I mean, has it been non-stop ever since you won?
Yeah, it's, my feet haven't touched the ground since that Wednesday. Gosh, that Wednesday.
What's weird, of course, is that you had to keep it a secret. You and your family had to keep... How was that?
My kids were amazing. They knew the whole time and didn't let anything out.
Was there must have been a particular teacher who got you into cooking at school?
Yeah, I had a home economics teacher who she'd quietly just potter away and she'd just every now and again give me a nudge and say, you know, you're really good at that. And I kind of didn't think anything of it at the time. And then I just got really into it. And then I remember lunch times I would just sneak in and say, can I just sit and have my lunch with you while you prepare for the next class? And I don't think she realised the impact she had on my life when it came to baking and sort of kind of believing in myself.
Tell us who's won this next award.
Right. I am honoured to be here tonight to present the award for Teaching Assistant of the Year. And the winner from the Nottingham Children's Hospital School is Kathy Harwood.
Kathy works with the children in the hospital school here in Nottingham.
Some breathing. Okay.
Children with a range of illnesses, cancer and brain tumours. Some of them have to cope day to day with not being able to talk, lack of movement, in and out of chemotherapy. So some very poorly children indeed.
Because I know you love your reading, thought you might quite like a little story or something. Do you like Roald Dahl? I thought you would.
I absolutely love my job. I still love it after 20 years. I feel really passionate about it, and it's everything to me. We see about 5,500 pupils a year. Some of those are short stay, but a lot of them can be in for weeks and months, so you get to build up a relationship over the years. You almost become part of their family.
Jacob, come here. How are you, my darling? Are you all right? Oh, it's lovely to see you. Have you come to do some cooking? Yeah. What we're making?
Scissors. Jacob's 6. In April 2014, he was diagnosed with fibrosarcoma, which is a very rare cancer. Jacob loves her.
Now, the first
He can have a really low day and Kathy comes along. We bake in and that's it. He's up and about and jolly and she's amazing.
Oh, well done. Brilliant.
Kathy will work with people next to the bed, but she does everything she can to get them away from that environment, because normality isn't a bed. And normality isn't sitting on a machine. Normality is being in a classroom, being able to play, being able to go out in the garden. Kathy goes above and beyond to make sure that happens.
That's not that way.
I was diagnosed with a brain tumour in 2008 when I was 11. She has been there for me ever since.
Oh, gosh, I feel the pressure, Connor.
Kathy makes me feel happy, safe, like I'm in a normal, not a hospital, like I'm in an actual school. I couldn't think of anyone else I'd want to be with while I was being on my own here.
We have got a fantastic roof garden. We've had to fundraise for that space. The children are able to go outside, they can play, they can be with family of an evening, they can grow things. You know, it's their space.
How's it going, Jacob? All right. We're doing all right. We are wearing quite a bit of it, Susie, but that's all right. We don't mind that.
The medication that the child is undergoing will affect their ability to learn. A lot of my role is relearning in a way that suits them. They may have been able to do times tables in one way before, but since their illness, they're no longer able to do it that way, so we just have to adapt.
As a parent, it's been very tricky to live in this world. She's been a big, big support to me personally, outside of the school, and she didn't have to do that.
Do some measuring. So I'm just going to move.
It's not easy seeing really sick children, and I will hold my hand up and say to anybody, I am the first to be in the toilet and I will have a little wee. But the way I kind of handle it, it's good to know that if the child has had a happy session with us, I've done my job.
All right, I love you too.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'll never work with anybody like her ever. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Teaching Assistant of the Year, Kathy Harwood. Come on up. I didn't think anyone... Oh, here we go, yeah, definitely. Lovely. I love a tall woman. Don't have to bend down to kiss. Lovely. I didn't think anyone was going to follow Dinah from Belfast, and you have just given us another incredibly inspirational story.
Thank you.
Why is it so important that learning is kept up when these young people have got terrible diseases that they're battling to overcome?
Well, I think they're given life-changing prognosis, and I think it's really important that we don't give up on these kids. They can spend a lot of time in hospital. You heard there from Connor, he's been coming since he was 11, so it's 7 years of his life. So what would have happened to him if we'd have not kept up his education?
You described how emotional it is doing that job. Can you go home at night? Can you switch off? Did you watch Bake Off? Can you just relax?
Oh, yes, I watch Bake Off. I do shopping, I love shoes, I do all the things that everybody else does. When I'm at work, it is everything, it is my job. I say I switch off, I don't really switch off of an evening. There'll always be something I'm planning to do to make their lives better.
Well, apparently it's not just shoes you like. We hear a lot about fancy dress.
Oh,
Tell me about that.
Yes, I do. I love wigs. We have a lot of wig days. A lot of the children I look after lose their hair through cancer treatment. So it's important. We celebrate it. You know, there's nothing wrong with a bald head. There's nothing wrong with a wig. And we like to dress up because I am a little bit loud, really, to be honest. This is sedate for me. So well done, everybody.
Well, thank you for behaving yourself up on this stage. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, our Teaching Assistant of the Year, Kathy Harwood, and thank you, Nadia Hussain, as well. Thank you. Well done. The next Plato is for the Outstanding New Teacher of the Year. The winner of this award has already achieved so much in his short time in the profession. Colleagues say he could compete with teachers with 10 years' experience. Alongside his busy day job, he's also completing a master's degree. On top of it all, he's a lovely guy as well. It's very annoying. So, to surprise this inspirational teacher, we organised a rather special school trip. Simon and his Year 8 tutor group began the day with a sightseeing tour of London.
Which is part of the Houses of Parliament.
Their final stop was at Downing Street. While the school group looks around number 10, why don't we take a look at what makes Simon so special?
Since Mr. Bayliss has been teaching me, it's really enjoyable, so I'm always like, yes, when my friends tell me science is next.
When we saw Mr. Bayliss first in class, I was like, he's too young. But the first minute he started talking, everyone was silent. He makes something so interesting and you just want to focus on it.
I just didn't have the motivation to actually work hard for science, even if I could. And when we had our mock exams, I actually got an A-star in biology.
Good morning, Year 8.
Simon is a biology teacher here at Oxford Spires Academy. He is the most exceptional newly qualified teacher I have come across in 34 years of teaching.
So, you've got microscopes in front of you. I've given you a selection of different plant cells, and I want to see what you can find. The thing that I love when I'm teaching a student is I love to see that spark. It's a spark that either means they've really understood something or they have just fallen in love with a topic, and that's just magical. And what else is around that? The membrane and the... cell wall. Good lads, yeah, exactly. That's what you're seeing.
Instead of just kind of standing at the front and explaining himself, Mr. Bayliss would come up to you and explain it and give you more things to do practically, which actually made it easier to learn. You're not just listening to someone and they're not just droning on, which you just completely zone out of.
Simon is really passionate about practical lessons. There is often something very exciting, very active, or very gruesome going on in his classroom.
You've cut that apart really nicely because you've left those intact, and that's really hard to do. One thing that I love to do in biology is dissections. I think it's fascinating, and I always try and get that across to the kids of how amazing this is. Okay. They remember it. They remember it for months and years, and that's what we're here for. We want to make something memorable to them.
There was a couple of occasions where me and my friends needed some extra help, and he stayed extra 40 minutes just to help us. I really appreciated that because he gave his time.
I was a really low-grade student. I started with a U, and he just pushed, like, come on, Sarah, you can do it. And I was like, okay, I need to do it. And then eventually I ended up with an A-star in December mocks. I was stunned. I even started crying because I was so happy because no one believed in what I could do.
He supports them in drama. He'll be out there watching them when they're playing sport at the end of the day. He'll be phoning parents, going to homes, doing home visits. I don't quite know how he fits it all in.
During my secondary school, I was out of school for quite a long time due to illness. And I think it was myself not getting those opportunities in school and not getting the chance to be so involved. That's something that I'm really passionate now about, making sure that we provide for other students and being a part of that journey for them.
Back to number 10, where Simon and his pupils have had a very memorable school trip. They finished the tour in the cabinet room, where there was time for one more big surprise.
Good afternoon. How are you? Nice to see you all. Mr. Bayliss, I got a little surprise for you to thank you for your incredibly hard work and all that you've done to inspire young people. You are the newly qualified teacher, Teacher of the Year. What about that? Come and have a seat. How many people think they'll do a science at least for A-level? How many do you think? Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. That's more than half. That's very good. Well, that's a great credit to Mr. Bayliss. Give him another round of applause. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Well done.
How amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Outstanding New Teacher of the Year from Oxford Spires Academy in Oxford is Simon Bayliss. And now it's time for the award for Secondary Head Teacher of the Year. To present this award, an actress known to millions as pint-sized Stevie Sutton, the ball of energy and Miranda's best friend from the BBC hit comedy series Miranda. She trained as a dancer and comes from a family of teachers, but she grew up knowing that she loved to make people laugh. Please welcome the brilliant Sarah Hadland. Sarah, great to see you. Do you miss filming Miranda?
Oh yes, and we had such a great time on the show, and we've all become such good friends. It was really sad when it ended, yeah.
Was there a single teacher that identified your ability and tried to and encouraged you?
Certainly when I went to theatre school when I was 16, the head teacher, Miss Betty Lane, she definitely singled out that I enjoyed comedy and it was probably my thing. So I think I've got her to thank for helping develop that talent with me, yeah.
You've also, in the past, thanked your mum, Jill, who's here tonight.
Yes,
She's a teacher.
Where is she? Oh, there she is.
She's a bit, yeah.
Yeah, my mum was a primary school
Hello,
teacher
Jill.
for 25 years. My grandma was a teacher, my grandpa was a headmaster, and my cousins are teachers, so I come from a big family of teachers.
How do you think you'd have hacked it?
I think it's such hard work, and that's why I was so keen to present an award tonight, because I think I wouldn't have the patience, because I know you have to have the patience of a saint to be a good teacher. I'd only be good at the bossing about. So, yeah, that would be my only good quality, I think.
Well, Sarah, stand and boss us about. Tell us who's won.
Right. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here tonight to present the Head Teacher of the Year award. Oh, and the winner, some of you will recognise this person, and I love her.